Welcome to the Witty Horse, where we love sharing real experiences about horses. We're here with Dave Dellin from the American Paint Horse Association. He's the director of judges for that association. Dave, I know there's been a lot of emphasis on training judges on what to look for in Western pleasure, but what do exhibitors need to know in relation to what the judges are doing there in the ring?
Sure, Craig. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to talk about that a little bit. Basically, what we're focusing on with the judges is for them to use the hierarchy of judging of Western gaits. That's in the rule book for APHA and NSBA and AQHA in the section that describes the Western gaits. And what that hierarchy really relates to is a order of emphasis, if you will, on what's the most important thing that a judge is going to look for in Western gaits and the least important thing. So basically, to break that down, correctness of movement is the most important thing that judges are going to look for. And correctness is really simple. We're talking about a 4-beat walk, a 2-beat jog, and a 3-beat lope. Doesn't matter your speed, doesn't matter anything else, how soft it is over the ground. All that really matters is that their gait is actually accurate in the footfalls. We want to see accurate footfalls in each one of those gaits. If a horse is accurate in their footfalls, we'll then move on to the quality level of the hierarchy. And that quality level then encompasses the softness of the movement, the horse's top line, its expression, freedom of movement, freedom of its stride. We want to see a horse be able to reach forward in its movement, be free moving down the rail, and have a natural appearance to where it's not artificial or man-made in the way that it travels. Then lastly, in the least important level of the hierarchy is degree of difficulty. And for Western gaits, degree of difficulty really involves speed. So the slower a horse goes, there is more degree of difficulty and a higher level of difficulty there, but speed has no value. Okay, I want to repeat that. Slowness and speed has no value if it's not both correct and has quality. That's the only way we ever really try to look at speed. And we want to put that emphasis on the quality of the movement, not on the pace that that horse is going. And that's something that's probably changed over the last 3 or 4, 5 years in Western pleasure. And I think it's something that can help that industry significantly. I think for many years before that, there was a lot of emphasis put on slowness, on brokenness, on a horse being mega consistent to where it just doesn't change at all as it goes around the arena. And we've lost some of that thought process of the quality of movement and the elegance of those horses' movement. So now we've really done a large scale effort, I would say, between all the associations to really put a lot of that focus back on the movement of the horse, and that's the direction to go. So for an exhibitor, from an exhibitor perspective, what they really need to know is you want to show your horse where it moves the best, not where you're stuck in a position on the rail. Okay, if you're in a position on the rail and your gait is not correct, say you're jogging too slow to have a true 2-beat jog, that's going to mark lower on a judge's card than it would if you were passing off the rail and had a clean 2-beat gait. That's the real key and the real thing that we want to get across to the exhibitors.
Yeah, so it sounds like as an exhibitor, I don't need to be worried so much about my speed or going slow like maybe in years past they were. It's more the correctness. Am I doing the gaits correctly?
Exactly.
and do that? So one more question for you, Dave. If I'm an exhibitor and I'm having a little trouble understanding, what is a 4-beat walk, what is a 2-beat trot, and then what's a 3-beat lope, do associations have information where they can find that stuff?
They do. Right now, probably the best video to watch for something like that is the Showing to Win DVD. That can be found on Quarter Horse Outfitters, and that describes it really well as far as what that's looking for. That was a DVD produced by NSBA and AQHA several years back.
And NSBA is what? What does that stand for?
The National Snaffle Bit Association. I'm glad you asked. That's the National Snaffle Bit Association, and they're kind of the discipline association, if you will, such as NRHA is for the reining. NSBA does that for the Western Pleasure and Hunter Under Saddle and the other horse show events.
Well, Dave, I want to thank you for sharing your knowledge here about the hierarchy of judging Western pleasure and really what exhibitors need to know here on the Witty Horse, where we love sharing real experiences about horses. And you can follow us at wittyhorse.com.